Yes, sir. Look, being a resident in modern day Babylon and a single male in this world, you will realize that the feminism movement, liberation, social media, snaps, and the simpletons have been destroying women. And in the process, the domino effect of that, it is destroying families. For the good brothers that's out there that's trying to build with somebody out here, it's gonna be a tough process because you're gonna have to go through the process like probation. You're gonna have the woman on a probationary period pretty much the whole time that you're dealing with her. Wives are not being breeded, only whores are. With the propaganda and the ideology that's getting spread through this Western civilization that we're stuck in right now, we got to understand that we got to do our due diligence with these women that we're dealing with. We got to stop crying about how this woman is like that and like that. You have to understand these women. These women don't mature until they're damn near about to reach 50. If they don't have the money to do surgeries, blow up their lips and all that shit to try to remain to look like some type of image that a man want to deal with, then their mind won't change. Nothing will change with them. Just let them self-destruct. All that empowerment about trying to, you know what I mean, ride, get that last ride on a car carousel before you really hit that wall and before you really try to settle down with that dude that you've been holding on the side, brushing them off for the dudes that you've been trying to talk to, all them low levels that's bringing you down because you've been low level the whole time. These women are so delusional and so unappreciative of the situations that some of these simps, especially these players, be putting them in that the shit gonna hit the fan. It's already there. And once these fucking simpletons and all these dudes wake up, smell the coffee, scrape all that shit that's on their shoe, it's gonna be a wrap for these women. I'm telling you. The wine stock is gonna be raising because they're gonna be buying boxes. I'm telling you, bunch of cat women. Let's hear what this broad got to say, because she's in her mid 40s. Scottie Pippen's ex fiance or whatever you want to call her. Everybody's familiar with her because they guess she's the woman that Future's talking about when he wore Gucci flip flops. Y'all know the song. So let's hear what she got to talk about because these women are only in the limelight because of these husbands. They call themselves basketball wives, but none of them are ever in situations with the husband. They only using his name. So who can do that? Do we have a show called Lawyer Husbands or some bullshit like that to where the man is using the name of the woman and they have a TV show off that shit? Never have I seen that. It's always about these wives of Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, and some Orange County bullshit to where they blow up their lips and look like blow up sex dolls, man. Get the fuck out of here.
So in 2015, when you're saying like he's gonna do, the conversation was he's gonna do his thing, I'm gonna do my thing. Was that basically like,
All that do you thing, do my thing, all that shit is Luciferian, man. All we need to have structure. This is why the so-called black community is null and void. There is no structure. There are no guidelines. There are no guide codes. This broad, Larsa Pippen, went up to Future. He should have said, yo, go back to your man. Because guys don't respect each other. They do shit like this. All for, what, an extra piece of pussy, man?
that conversation is we're separated. That's what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's kind of living our separate lives. And, I was in Miami and he was in Arkansas in our house in Chicago. And I started going out. Like, you have to remember, I had 4 kids. So I never really went out without him. I never.
You didn't have to go out. You have 4 kids. That's all you had to worry about, man. That's why you are on this earth, to be a mother, a wife, a nurturer, a helpmeet. You ain't supposed to worry about the outside noise. Yo, fellas, when your girl's worried about social media, she want to go out every weekend, man. The red flags, the blinkers got to go on, because you got to be like, yo, why is she so preoccupied with being anywhere else other than with me? You understand? She want to be outside all the goddamn time. Tell her to have a nice night. You going to catch her on the flip side. Period. This broad running around with the Kardashians. They always had that saying, just like I said, birds of a feather flock together. If you don't want to be a hoe in the limelight, then why are you associating yourself with them? If your broad doesn't want to be associated with hoes, then why is she hanging out with the low level broads on her lunch break? Come on, man, shit don't add up. You got to separate yourself. Period.
Anything like my whole life, my 20s and half of my 30s was, raising kids and taking care of all of Scotty's stuff. Like
Yo, how unfortunate and ungrateful does this broad say? She's trying to make Scotty the victim of why she wasn't a whore in her 20s, so now she got to be a whore in her late 30s to about approaching 50. Meanwhile, you're all taken care of. You're worried about running around this that yo this bro. This is what the madness of these bras, the psychoses of these bras, and why marriages are decreasing, man. This is why all these men are making channels about these bras and shit like that, because they were simps that got their heart broke, and now they're crying all goddamn day about these bitches. Yo, just understand their nature, man. Just understand them, yo. You cannot take them serious, man. A woman will show you that she's serious. Until then, just drop them drawers and keep it moving.
his whole life. He didn't even know where he banked. I did all of our stuff. I handled all of our investments. I handled all of our stuff. So at this,
And he was handling business. He was the reason why the money was coming in, why you could sit there and try to look cute and get all your surgery, man. So what's the point? Don't try to, yo, women always want to play the best role that they known ever since mankind, and that's the victim role, period.
and I'm just like, it's just not enough. I don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah. So you were separated when you were seeing Future.
Yeah.
Was that weird? Did Scotty know you were seeing Future of all people?
So you were separated, but that doesn't mean that you were divorced. That's another thing, man. That's what I'm saying, guys. We got to be doing better out here, man. We cannot have women out here jumping from another man to another man. You know what I'm saying? He just dug in that. So you want to jump in that after him? You already know that she's in a situation with that man. Yo, tell her to go back to her man. There's so many whores out here. We do not need to be fucking the same broads. We got to do better in the so-called black community, especially, man. Y'all the biggest simps on this earth.
Like, and how did he?
It was definitely like a respectable relationship. It wasn't on like, like it was just like we were friends and we needed each other at that moment.
She said we were friends. To all of y'all that's in a relationship and you got a girl out there saying that she got male friends, you better raise that people's eyebrow. Ain't no such thing, man. That's a brother on the bench. Trust.
And that was basically, I think people make more of it. I think it's just like for a better conversation for people to say, oh, she cheated on him. Oh, she this, she that. Like, it was none of that. Like, Scotty wasn't even living at home with me.
Like, and how did he feel about that?
No. We never like, I never like would ask him what he was doing. He would never ask me what I was doing. Like, it wasn't like how you're thinking.
He didn't have to ask you what you were doing. That shit was in the tabloids, social media and all that, man. Word get around fast. So if you really didn't want it to be out there, your ass should have been home, man. Listen, the woman, the probationary period is for as long as you're dealing with her, yo. Especially in this era, dude. This social media era where these women love attention. Look at her, dude. They all got these lips. They all got their fucking face pushed back. They gonna look a mess when they hit 50. When them looks are gonna wear off. You gotta show a man you got more than your looks, yo. A lot of men are getting tired of women, dude. But it's not supposed to be like that with the woman on one side and the men on the other side. Like we at our first high school dance, man. Nah, it can't get down like that.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating that you can't just date someone and it not be all over the tabloids? I got to imagine having that much focus on your life gets frustrating sometimes.
I don't know. I just feel like, for me, because I'm not like a talker, like I don't handle my business in public. So I feel like if you're not loud in 2020, like the loudest people get the most attention and you start believing them. It's almost like if I keep lying to you and I just keep saying the same thing, the world will believe it. Yeah. I'm just not like that. I'm more of a private person. I don't really like tell my business. I don't really...
How private are you when you sitting here talking about why you so-called cheated on Scottie Pippen with Future? How private are you really? Yo, these women, these liberal modern day females, they not even women, man, they just females, dude, are the biggest hypocrites on the planet Earth.
All the issues that I had with Scotty or with this person, I'm more of a private person. And when I leave a situation, I leave it like gracefully. I leave it like, it was so much fun. I had the best time and let's keep it moving.
Where did you meet Future?
Oh, I met him at a dinner party in Miami.
And was it sparks right away, or how did the first date go down?
Kind of, yeah. It kind of was like that.
Do you remember the first date?
Yeah. It was pretty interesting because he was definitely not what I thought he was going to be like. He was definitely very romantic and different than I expected him to be.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I just expected him to come on and like give me some like lyrics and be like, you know, two damn bitches at the same time. I don't know. Just like,
Goofy ass broad, man, in her 40s talking about she was expecting lyrics, man. Acting like she's in her 20s. These women are delusional, dude, and they do not want to grow up, period. I mean, that's why you just got to treat them like the piece of shit that they are, yo. Stop having these women on the pedestal. If you meet another man, you ain't going to be fucking kissing that man ass, right? So y'all fellas got to fucking grab y'all balls, man, and stop treating these women like they better than y'all, dude. Piece of shit like this, man. You got kids, yo. Listen, if I was in high school with your kids, they wouldn't hear the end of it, man. Not even funny, but sometimes, yo, that's how some people grow thick skin. But that's another story. But dude, this is sad. That this is somebody's mother and she over here on some little low level channel talking about some relationship that she got that or had, matter of fact. Come on, man.
I expected it to be more like, I don't know. It was just very like on a very normal like type of situation. But I love him. He's the best. He's great.
Was it a member? So I'm just curious about the first date. If you're going on a date with Future, what do you guys do on the first date? I feel like he's got to, especially with someone like you, he's got to go crazy for you.
No, we literally spoke for like 7 hours the first time I ever saw him. And I kind of like told him all my life and like, kind of like why
Man, y'all talked for about 7 minutes. The hell out of here. Y'all talk for 7 hours, man. Stop that madness. Ain't nobody listening to you for that long. You're not that interesting. You just said all your 20s and shit. You was taking care of Scotty's businesses and all that. He doesn't even know where he's banking and shit like that. You ain't talking for 7 hours. Your life ain't that interesting. Stop it.
Like where I am today and all that stuff. And he kind of gave me his whole like life, where he was in his life. And it was basically just like we related on the most simple, organic way. Like I didn't need anything from him. He didn't need anything from me. It was just like we were just two people that were like trying to figure our way, Like I felt like I was stuck in a marriage that like I just wasn't like really happy in. And he was trying to like, find his way too. So it wasn't like, we didn't talk about like, you know what I mean? Like it was just super like organic and simple. It wasn't like how you probably would think.
No, I guess I would think like there's pressure when you're going into date someone or potentially start, I don't know, courting. It sounds stupid and lame, but like you're interested in someone and you're like, shit, I know that this woman's had a really high profile relationship and I got to come in and kind of like step it up a little bit. I got to imagine that's a lot of pressure.
He can come in and when he likes someone, he can come in and step up. He knows how to do that. I feel like he's good at that. Yeah, he's good.
So why did that, are you guys still close? And why do you think that relationship just didn't, I don't know if you're looking for marriage again, but why didn't that relationship just kind of still go further, I guess?
So you're trying to get that last bit of hoe out, man. There ain't nothing to ask about that. There ain't nothing beyond that. She probably had an itch for the dude for a little while, and she had to let it out. Talking about we separated, man. Fellas, if you want an on and off relationship, man, just let it be off. There's no need to be going back and forth. All these relationships don't need to be difficult. Especially with the so-called black man. We so used to dealing with the hardships. We got to feel like dealing with some difficult shit is routine. Nah, dude. You got to understand, we got a handful of shit that we got to deal with. We don't need a woman that's adding to it. We need a woman that's adding peace and some other qualities. You feel me? Everything pussy is not the end all be all, man, when it come down to it.
I feel like it's kind of hard when you're like chasing, like you got to be on stage and you got to travel and there's just so much pressure. And I feel like dating someone that's like, when two people have like a standard that's kind of high, it's hard to like, you know what I mean? Like I have to chase him, but then I want to be chased and then he has to chase me, but he's got a career. And then it's just.
This broad in her 40s talking about she want to be chased, man. I cannot listen to this for any longer, man. This is the modern day female in a nutshell. I'm not talking about all, but the vast majority, man. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, man, it's probably from personal experience, man. This is no shots taken, but we sitting out here understanding that we were out here for a purpose. There's male and female. We not out here trying to go to war with each other like those Rams on the commercials, running into each other, headbutting, man. That's not what we here for. We here to compliment each other. And we got to understand when a man asks you questions, it's not because he has trust issues. He might have picked up on something, so he's trying to figure some things out. Understand that these are the women that's making the good woman look bad. They making the good woman very hard to find out here. There's more whores than good wives. And that's a problem for the guys that's really sitting out here trying to build, that really want to be out here reproducing like you're meant to be. But you got these whores out here that's still trying to get their whore out, and they're in their 40s. So imagine the bros that you're talking to in their 20s, man. There's a lot of women that you can't take serious out here in 2020, man. Vision got to be clearer. Stop crying like these simps on these YouTube channels, man, and make moves. Just understand these women. They're children with titties, and they're going to mature when they're close to 50, man. That's how you got to take it. Be real solid with a female before you want to talk about marriage. And at the end of the day, you don't even need that shit. It's only a piece of paper. So that's just my perspective on this shit, yo. A good woman is hard to find, man. Sheesh.